Hello travelers, my name is Bryce and I read tarot. Welcome to Occult. Hello travelers, welcome to another pick a card. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Bryce, and this pick a card, like many of the others this week, are going to revolve around topics that are not so common among the pick a cards. I know many of you are quite sick of seeing the same pick a cards simply renamed. I do quite enjoy doing different things, and I figured that this one would be interesting. This pick a card is entitled My Spiritual Master Plan, and this is a timeless pick a card, so no matter when you're finding this, it's not going to matter. This applies. You know, the point of this pick a card is to gain insight into each of our own individual spiritual paths and some of the factors that may be playing into the development or the hindrance thereof. What we're trying to gain insight into exactly is the best route towards spiritual enlightenment. What challenges we all face as beings here on the planet Earth. I believe we each have a ultimate potential we can reach, and the more we can overcome spiritually and the more we can become enlightened spiritually, the better off we are. And I believe that is a big reason we're here. This is to aid you in the search for the truth within, and I hope many of you will find this useful. I'd just like to take the time to express my gratitude for all of you travelers. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. You guys are so good to me. You've helped create this channel. You've helped make this all happen. I have a large vision for this channel, and I'm going to be driving it forward with everything I have. I'd like to give a big shout out to all my Patreon supporters out there. Hey guys, thanks. Even though you may not realize it yet, you're all part of something big. You're all the foundation, and I will never forget you. So let's get to the question. What is our spiritual master plan? As you can see in front of me, I have 4 groups of cards. Group Alpha, Group Beta, Group Gamma, and Group Delta. Now all I need you to do is to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and breathe deeply and intentionally. Allow clarity to sweep away all the fuzz, the distortion, the random bits of information floating around. Clear it all out. Find yourself sitting in a black space.
Now it is just you.
Breathe intentionally, breathe regularly, and allow yourself to relax in a cool way. Now ask yourself the question, what is my spiritual master plan? And once you've done that, open your eyes and select the card that calls out to you. For those of you who have trouble picking, I encourage you to use the divination wheel. Many have found great success with it. You can find a link to the corresponding timestamps in the description below.
Let's see what the cards reveal.
Alright, Group Alpha. Here in front of me are two sources of information when it comes to this question. I'm trying to break it down into something very condensed. So, at the top I have your path. These are the lessons you are here to learn. The obstacles that you're here to overcome correspond with the lessons you're here to learn. So, I'll go through some of the things that you're here to overcome, and I'll go through some of the things that you can expect because of that. For you, Group Alpha, the first thing I see is that you're here to work on your resilience, your ability to stand for what you believe in. This has a lot to do with self-importance, but not in a selfish way. This is trusting in your intuition enough that you'll fight for it. You'll stand your ground and you'll die for it. As a result of this, you're likely to see lots of conflict in your lifetime. You are likely to come across many forms of opposition, even for small things. It may seem like conflict sort of follows you around. And you could expect that so long as you flee from it or try to avoid it. I'm not saying you should run headlong into it, but I think the point here is that you stand your ground no matter the odds. Even if you're overwhelmed by many people with differing ideas, you should stand on yours. Don't be afraid to be courageous. Your voice is just as important as anyone else's. This is part of developing your spirit and helping you become stronger and more sure of yourself. Another path lesson that I see that you're here to learn, represented by the Two of Pentacles, tells me that you're here to learn about cycles and breaking free from them. And this is something I'm sure is common to many, many people. One of the important lessons that you're supposed to walk away with, it would be most helpful for you to walk away with, is this one, is the knowledge that even if things may appear different, coming around the second time, we are all locked into cycles. And it's important to know that, to be able to break free from them to some degree. I can see that you're likely to experience some very confusing cycles in your lifetime, some very vicious cycles. These are going to require that you approach things in a serious manner, because not taking things seriously enough will surely lock you into these cycles. You will also likely find, until you are able to transcend these binding cycles, you're likely to find that it seems difficult to get ahead. Winning and being able to move about freely, that is, not just in 3D space, but through willpower and getting what you want, these things will pose a challenge to you, because it will seem that instead of making progress forward, you come around in full circles. And what it's going to take is a level of looking inward and realizing that it's not the external cycles that are imprisoning you, it's your being lulled by them. the lesson here is to be able to recognize them and to realize that it's actually you that is agreeing to stay in these cycles. To get out of this, you're going to require a lot of self-honesty and a lot of evaluation of what's going on. You need to see the logic of the same thing twice doesn't work differently. Once you overcome this obstacle, I think you'll find that things come much more freely and easier to you. Wealth would be much easier to acquire, and the world would seem an easier place to live in. The third card is the Queen of Wands, and this tells me that you're also here to master your willpower. Not only that, but to take this raw form that you've been given and turn it into something very refined and beautiful, sophisticated, charming. This is mastering your own will. This is mastering your own creativity. This is your final hurdle. This is your final lesson. Once you can do that, I think you'll find that things come together quite nicely for you. And you can focus more on the subtle problems of life. One of the obstacles that's going to be involved with this card in particular is the Two of Wands. And this tells me that you need a vision. You need a large vision. And this is something I say quite often, but it's true, and this is what the cards are telling me. That in order to master your willpower, to master your charm, you need a plan of action. You need a vision. You need, before you make a plan of action, a mental image of exactly what you want. And I think you'll find that you master your will quite quickly that way. But Group Alpha, that's all I have for you. If you like tarot picker cards, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram if you like, and hey, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you guys can know when I release a video. And I appreciate all you guys so much. Thanks. Alright, Group Beta. Well, we're asking the question, what is our spiritual master plan? And what I've done is looked at two aspects of this. Your lessons, these are the things that you're to learn while you're here, and also the challenges. These correspond directly with the lessons. So I've tried to condense this down into something quite simple, but also make it pretty clear and concise. So one of the first cards to pop up for you, Group Beta, is the Magician. And this is a card about transformation. You're here to learn how to use will to power, to transform things around you. This is communication. This is charm. This is getting people to follow you. This is a great card. This would be a great lesson to learn. This is mastery of the untamed, transformation of the world, and bringing ideas into form, manifest through communications, through willpower, through magic, and through work of the hands. This is a card that's big on communication, because often we can transform more than we could ever imagine just by winning over the minds and hearts of others. Due to this fact, I am seeing a coupling here. If life transcends throughout different lifetimes, then I think that this pair here would suggest that because of this particular goal, you are going to be with another soul who's likely to reappear throughout many lifetimes as both a friend and a challenge. So this person would be the Knight of Wands. This is your challenge, and you're his challenge as well. And then this is not necessarily him or her, but this person is a challenge to you, and you're a challenge to her. This person is represented by the Knight of Wands, which tells me that this is going to be a very charming individual who very good at communication, seemingly at first better than you at it. However, the things that you find yourself lacking in that they have are complemented from each side, because things that this person feels that they lack in, you will have. So at first, this person is going to seem super charming, super confident, very determined and driven by will, whereas you're going to feel not so talkative, not so social, and not that transformative yet. This Knight of Wands is going to have a lesson to learn from you that involves communication in a certain way, and also consideration, the subtleties of the magician. This person is going to have a problem with impulsive action. You should know them well by this. Also, this is the type of person that will run people over to get to whatever they're after without second thought. So it's likely that you two will clash at many points in time. But as time goes on and you step more into your roles, you'll realize that the tables have switched. This person will be quiet and not confident, and while you are very transformative through your communication alone, and in other ways. This will be quite interesting, and the destinies here are locked together. So I'm sure you know who this person is. Also, I see Judgment, and that tells me that you are here to align with the true purpose. You are here to decide, or help decide on how things will go once they get there. So your job when it comes to this is to align yourself with your true purpose, get to know yourself, and meditate. That's exactly what the Four of Swords is saying as well, that you need to take time to rejuvenate and search within for these answers. This is also associated with the Hermit in that it suggests self-reflection. I do see you're going to have a problem with this at first, just as anyone does. Searching the self is very difficult indeed. This can be very challenging, but I can assure you the cards are saying that all the answers lie within. Also, I see the Moon here. This to me represents counter-intuition. Intuition gone wrong, a superactive imagination could be something that you find yourself with. This card causes confusion. You're here to learn to differentiate between false signals and real ones. This is to fine-tune your tuition. The obstacles you're going to face here has a lot to do with relationships. You're going to feel as if anyone who's with you is doing something behind your back until you can overcome and embrace this lunar energy and use it for a creative purpose, because within this card lies a lot of creative energy and magic. Frankly, this can be used to your benefit, but until you get a grasp over it, it is going to manifest as quite severe paranoia in some relationships. So just keep that in mind. Expect that your relationships may hit rocky territory because of this. So I can see this is really going to pose a lot of issues to any relationship that you try to get deeply involved in, because until you're able to handle these wild, intuitive messages, you're going to take them wrong. So that's something to keep in mind. But, you know, Group Beta, it may seem like you just have horrible luck with relationships, and you may feel like you're doomed to be alone for a while until you overcome the moon card as a lesson. This will cause some confusion and paranoia, and you'll feel like you're not able to trust anyone. But once you move past that, I think you'll find that you'll be very successful in those things. So just keep that in mind. Much of what this involves has to do with intuition running wild and overactive imaginations. This is a very strong creative force living inside of you. So it's something very powerful and a good lesson to overcome. So, Group Beta, if you like tarot pick cards, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'd love to see you there. And thanks for watching. Alright, Group Gamma. You know, what I did here was I tried to condense this down to something fairly simple yet clear and concise, detailed. The top row is your lessons that you're meant to learn spiritually, and the bottom row is the obstacles that you're likely to face to come with those lessons. You know, one of the first cards I got for you was the King of Swords, and this tells me that one of your lessons is to learn to control your emotions, to overcome your emotional response to things, and to you know, wield logic and be able to see clearly in emotional situations and pierce through confusion. And this is important for some of the next lessons that you're supposed to learn. What I'm seeing is that because this is one of the lessons that's ahead for you, I see the Queen of Cups, and this is an obstacle that you're likely to face because of this. This tells me that, for one, either you're going to be a person who is overcome with imagination, creativity, and nurturing, caring emotions that are, while you have them under control, it's kind of hard for you to think and act without them. You know, this goes right along with the next lesson that's in this spread, which is the Death card, which represents transformation, a change. Now, what these first cards also could mean is that you may be paired in life with a partner or a friend who exhibits the nature of the King of Swords, and because of that, they will be enemies at times. But you both are a lesson for each other and an obstacle for each other. So if that's the case, I'm sure you know who this person was. As I said, the next card is the Death card, and this represents transformation. But not only transformation, permanent transformation, permanent change. And sometimes this can feel like loss. You know, I could see how it would be necessary for you to develop the logic, the clear thought, before you move on to this lesson in life, which represents being able to embrace change and carry on. And not only embrace it, but appreciate it. Because of this obstacle, now this is a tricky card. I see the Four of Wands, or because of this lesson, I see the Four of Wands as an obstacle. And this tells me that you'll have a large circle of friends and strong connections to all of them, but you are going to experience at some point in time an end to that. These things are going to be hard for you to move on from. I'm not saying it's anything bad. I'm just saying that you could spend your whole life refusing to do so, and because of that, not spiritually progress. So it's likely that you'll be faced with some situation where you have to choose. Either I accept the transformation and I move on, or I refuse to progress and I stay here with the things I hold on to, the people I hold on to. This won't serve you. Just keep that in mind. One of the last cards I'm seeing is the Eight of Pentacles. And this tells me that after undergoing these lessons and overcoming these obstacles, one of the last things for you to achieve a higher level of spiritual enlightenment, for you to learn, is to master your craft. And I'm not talking necessarily about physical craft. I'm talking about the art of being you, turning your life into a work of art. And it could be through craftsmanship, it could be through many things. But you need to get these two lessons and these two obstacles out of the way first before you can move on to this phase. This is where you become more of what you are intended to be. By the time you get here, you are doing well. One of the obstacles you're going to face with this phase is you're going to feel like you need rejuvenation. You're going to feel like you want to retreat inward and rest. At this point in time, you very well could, but you're going to miss out on your last stage of spiritual development. And, I wouldn't recommend it, but really it comes down to a choice. The cards are saying that you could really make something akin to a work of art out of your life this way. So, Group Gamma, this is a good reading. If you like tarot picker cards, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you like, follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I release a video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Alright, Group Delta. So what I've done here is I try to condense this reading down to some basic elements while keeping it clear, concise, and detailed. And what I have here is the lessons you're supposed to learn in your life to develop spiritually, and also the obstacles which will directly correspond with each lesson. And these do fit together chronologically. That means, the first one first before the next one, and then the last one last. So Group Delta, what I'm seeing here is the Two of Cups tells me that you are supposed to reconnect with some sort of soul that you've been connected to, likely since before being who you are here. This is going to come with some challenges, and it'll be likely that this is someone who you connect with for maybe even just a short time, on every level. The problem here is going to be the impermanence of it. But ironically, it's very permanent. It's just it just comes in short flashes. The challenge here is to make it work. This is key to your spiritual development. What I'm seeing here that's going to be posed to you as a challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. And this tells me that there are always going to be issues of being able to provide, of having enough money, or having a place to stay, or having a sufficient level of security and level of stability. This first challenge is going to be quite challenging for you, but once you make it past this challenge, your next one is going to be finding harmony in your life. This is the Temperance card. This is not only finding harmony in your life, but coming into sync with who you really truly are and what you really want. And as a result of that, the obstacle here is going to be represented by the Knight of Cups. This means that you're going to have strong feelings that are going to pull you in many directions. You're going to be getting lots of messages from external sources that are, in a way, by design to distract you. You're going to want to move quickly. You're going to want to feel hurried to make a decision. Yet, the Temperance card says that you will need to learn to wait until you know to make a decision. So the challenge here is going to be yourself, dealing with your own impatience and your own emotions when it comes to this situation, knowing what's right for you and what isn't. In this case, following your intuition and being very patient will serve you. And the last card that I'm seeing here is the Justice card. And this tells me that once you've reached this final stage, the challenge for you and the lesson you're going to need to learn is to, once you've come into harmony with who you are, with your spirit, with what your destiny is, and you become very familiar with it, then you are going to feel like you need all the facts in order to know how to proceed. And this is going to be a patience game. The challenge here is going to be, there's always a disaster. There's always something that is going to complicate things for you, that is going to hasten things, and is going to try to tempt you into making hasty decisions. And if you do that, you will fail this hurdle. So, when and if it comes to this, let disasters incite more patience into your life. Don't be distracted by things falling apart around you, because the moment you come to this higher state of spiritual consciousness, you are going to feel quite enlightened. You're going to feel like you have it all together. But at that very moment is when things will start falling apart, and it will become a true test of your resolve and just how together you have it. So the Justice card tells me that you are going to need to know how and when to make the right decision, when to wait, when to move, and what to do when you do move. The disasters that will surround you will make that very difficult. So this is what I'm seeing for you, Group Delta. It seems like a lot of your spiritual development is going to involve frustrating situations that require a level of patience from you. So, Group Delta, I think it would be advisable for you guys to learn and practice patience. And I know it's easier said than done, but that seems to be a big part of your spiritual development in this life right now. With the first challenge, I would recommend not being too hasty and looking around you and seizing any opportunity that you have to make things right. And then again, this lesson could be to love and to lose, because at some point the love is always to lose. Nothing's forever. Everything's impermanent, and that may be a part of the lesson. So you just have to see. That's all I have for your group Delta. I hope this helps. If you like tarot picker cards, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you know when I release another video. Also, if you like, follow me on Instagram. I'd love to have you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching.